So I want to introduce someone who has been very important in both my personal and professional life. And it's actually the woman who introduced me to the concept of narcissism in general, and especially to the idea that narcissism can be cured. Not to mention all the help that she gave me on the personal level. She is the one who actually started me on the journey of saying, hey, these problems can be fixed. Let me look deeper into the science, the psychology of it, and see what can be done. So, Kim, share with us how you started with your journey with narcissism, because as I know, you also started with a personal problem and then started looking deeper into the method and developed your approach from there. So, if you don't mind sharing with us how it all started, I think that would be awesome.
Well, I first heard about it when I was seeking help for my marriage, which was
Mm-hmm.
a complete disaster, and I was in a terrible, terrible situation. I had three children under 10 that I was struggling to find food for most nights, and a husband who was out working as a bartender and wouldn't come home till very late and usually drunk, and who was not very empathetic or sympathetic towards our situation at all, or my situation. And so, yeah, well, I was looking for help, and then I was told that I should look into this thing called narcissistic personality disorder, that it sounded like it may be what I was dealing with. And I thought, oh, okay, great. This maybe I might get some answers here. I came from a medical background. My father was a doctor and my mother was a nurse. And I thought, okay, well, diagnosis is 99% of the cure. Let's find out what this is about. And then, no, apparently this was something that was incurable, and that you couldn't do anything about, and you just needed to change the locks and run away. And I thought, okay, this is really strange. I'd never ever heard of
Right.
anything like that at all, of that someone could have a medical condition that meant that their whole family should abandon them. And so I guess that was just the beginning of my journey to say, what is this all about?
Right.
And
Thank you, Kim. And my story is similar, except we didn't have a drinking problem. My husband's escape was more into antidepressant pills. He would come home, eat a quick dinner, then he'd go to sleep, and then he wouldn't wake up till next morning. So I found myself providing for the kids as well, just like you were saying, Kim, and splitting wood in the middle of the night, 8 months pregnant because the heat was turned off and I had just one wood stove to heat up the whole house and the kids are freezing. So yeah, I can definitely share same type of stories. And we're going to continue this conversation, obviously. But for the rest of you guys, what I want to emphasize here is that look at our personal stories. We both started with a personal experience before we made any professional steps in this direction. And if we can do it, then you should be able to do it. Obviously, we're not saying that every single case of narcissism can be fixed, and probably not every single case should be fixed, but there's definitely hope. If you want to stay in that relationship, there is definitely hope. That's not what I'm saying is not that you should stay in that relationship, but and sometimes there are circumstances where it's definitely warranted and you should leave that relationship, but it is largely determined of how do you feel about this. If you feel that you want to stay, don't let anybody tell you that you have to leave. It's definitely doable. Follow your heart there. Thank you for watching. We're going to continue this conversation.